In this video, I'm pitting two titans of the SEO tool world against each other as we see Ahrefs take on Semrush. Now I'm going to try and be as impartial as I possibly can be, despite last week Ahrefs seriously upsetting me. Now, I also have my trusty Ahrefs t-shirt here, so I've been a customer of theirs for the last 5 years, until they took me off their legacy plan, as apparently I'm in the top 15% of data usage for legacy plan customers. Breathe, Jason. I was thinking about making the switch anyway, so this has given me the push I needed. So today I'm going to be picking out 7 categories, testing Ahrefs against Semrush in each, and trying to come up with a winner. Now, I'm very used to using Ahrefs, so that gives them the edge, although they have seriously annoyed me, so that swings it back into the balance for Semrush. Let's get into this. We're going to see each software tested against these 7 metrics with a winner for each, and then hopefully I can give you an overall winner and tell you who I think the software is better for. Links to both Ahrefs and Semrush are in the description down below if you do want to go and test them out, and Semrush has a 7-day free trial. Now let's kick things off with UI. Okay, so let's kick things off with Ahrefs, and we're going to use epicgardening.com just as a demonstration domain, and the layout is very familiar to me. I've been using Ahrefs for over 5 years, so we get most of our tools listed down the side here. We also get some listed across the top, and everything is pretty intuitive. So for example, if we want to look at the keywords that are ranking, we can either click directly on the keywords here, or we can go down to the left hand bar and click organic keywords. So if we click into here and take a look, everything's laid out quite nicely. We can go in and we can explore that further. Everything is pretty clickable and very, very intuitive. For me, one of the main things that I use this tool for is to do keyword research, to assess the power of a domain, which it gives us this domain rating and URL rating, and then also to do backlink analysis. I also quite like some of the tools down the side here, but we'll go on to those in the next section. If we compare that to Semrush, to be honest, has a pretty similar look and feel to it. Go into the domain overview section, which is what we were in on Ahrefs. It gives us a very similar set of stats. They use their authority score. We then see organic traffic, paid search, and the backlinks. Again, all very intuitive. We can go in, we can click in, we can go and look at what their main keywords are. One thing that I think Semrush does quite nicely is it gives us these nice visualizations. And again, in terms of layout, it's very similar with all of the tools listed down the left-hand side, and then we get some extra options in here. We have this similar sort of filters that we do on Ahrefs too. So for UI, I'm going to sit on the fence and I'm actually going to give them both 1 point. So let's move on to the features of both tools. It's fair to say that for most users, the features are going to be fairly similar for both of these tools. Having said that, Semrush does have a few extra features that potentially will be useful, but the bare bones of both tools, if we look at it from a keyword research, a link analysis tool, they both have all of the things. So the key ones that I use on a daily basis with Ahrefs, like I've said, is the backlinks. We can search for broken backlinks. We can look at the anchor text profile. We've got a lot of tools around organic search. We've got some tools in paid search too. We can also use the website audit tool, which is a really nice feature in Ahrefs, and it gives you this nice graphical interface again. It gives you an overall health score. It will list any issues that you should address. It's great for finding broken links on a domain. That gives you the opportunity to do link building outreach. Identifying internal links and anchors for those is also pretty good. We can also export our data, so we can use this data outside of Ahrefs. We can use the API, or we can put it into Looker Studio. Now with Semrush, again, we get pretty much all of that same functionality that we do with Ahrefs. It just looks a little bit different, but I actually think some of the Some of the features, particularly around the keyword research, are a little bit easier to use. So the keyword magic tool, for example, really does make keyword research so simple. And what I also really like with Semrush is it gives us the intent of a keyword. It also gives us the keyword difficulty as a percentage, which is the same as what Ahrefs does. We can see the trends. I really like the trend analysis for the keyword research. That gives us a really good idea as to where that keyword is going. And then if we want to delve deeper into those, then we can do that too. I do have to say, having used Semrush this week, that they also have a lot of other tools that Ahrefs simply don't have. So again, you can set up your own projects. You've got position tracking. Again, you've got the site audit. Now, I've not set any of these up yet, but you can see there's a lot of stuff going on there. Again, the interface for that is really, really nice. Now, you can also use Semrush for outreach, for your link building. So you can actually have the platform link to your email and an outreach to domains for new backlinks. We also have a social media tracker, although that is a paid extra, but that's pretty useful to have everything all in one place. And we can also use SEO content templates and the SEO writing assistant to help us create our content. If you're doing local SEO, you can also use it to manage your local citations and check your NAPs, your name, address and phone number. So for anyone doing local SEO, you've also got that functionality built into Semrush. Now, I was really surprised at this because it had been 3 years really since I'd really properly tested Semrush. And I didn't realise they had all those extra features. They have all the functionality to me that Ahrefs does, but also some nice added little bonuses. So for me, it's a clear winner here, and Semrush wins that 1 point. Okay, on this next test, we're going to look at backlinks. Now, this is one where I assumed that Ahrefs would win hands down, because probably the last time I used it 3 years ago, Semrush just didn't have the backlink database that Ahrefs does. And I like to use Ahrefs to pick up any backlinks that are coming into my site, whether they're backlinks that I want or backlinks that I don't, but also to take a look at competitor backlinks too. Now, what I've done is I've just picked 3 random sites, varying sizes, and we're going to look at the backlinks that they all pick up. So, Epic Gardening, Ahrefs is picking up 10,500 referring domains and 205,000 backlinks. Semrush is picking up 667,000 backlinks and 15,500 referring domains. So Semrush wins that one with significantly more data than Ahrefs. If we look at DIY.com, again, we see 1.4 million backlinks and 32,500 referring domains on Ahrefs, and Semrush gives us 5.9 million backlinks and 37,000 referring domains. So the referring domains, not that much different, although Semrush is still picking up significantly more. And then if we look at niche pursuits, Ahrefs is telling us that they're picking up 10,200 referring domains and 276,000 backlinks. Whereas again, Semrush is picking up 16,500 referring domains and 413,000 backlinks. One little side note here is that I do like that Ahrefs give us this all-time figure below, but that current data is really important to me. So again, this is a clear win for Semrush, 1 point. Okay, so next we're going to pick 3 of my websites, all varying ages, varying sizes, and one that is on an upward trend, whereas 2 that are on a downward trend, all recently impacted one way or the other through the core update and the helpful content updates. So this is really looking at how well Ahrefs and Semrush can estimate the traffic. And this is difficult because obviously with a lot of updates recently, it's kind of how quick and responsive they are to those, and then how well they do estimate those traffic levels. So if we take a look at this UK site, for me, first of all, it has been impacted recently, and we can see that the current traffic levels, Ahrefs are estimating at 8,700 searches per month. Semrush, for the same domain, gives us a 3,400 organic search per month. Now, if we look at that in Google Analytics, what I've done is I've just taken 3 days October the 19th to October the 21st, and then we're going to multiply that by 3, just because that is probably the most recent completed data that I can use, and that actually gives us organic search of 1,100 over those 3 days. So if we multiply that by 10, that gives us 11,000 organic hits per month. So on that one, Ahrefs is a lot closer than Semrush, so that's 1-0 to Ahrefs. Let's take a look at the next one. This is another one built on an age domain. You can see that Ahrefs looks like it's pulled back a little bit over the last few days, so that's looking pretty responsive, and that's giving us an estimation of 19,300. Semrush for the same domain gives us a very different traffic score of 5,600, and we can see where the impact was, but it doesn't look, according to this, as if it has reacted over the last few days. Now, if we go in and take a look at the data on that, that is actually very similar at 1,200. So again, multiply that by 10, that's actually 12,000. So we can see that Semrush had massively underestimated, where Ahrefs had overestimated, with the difference being around the same. So I'm going to give them both a point for that. And then if we take a look at this one's on an upward trend. This is a new site of mine, and Ahrefs is telling us that it's getting around 2,000 hits per month, and Semrush has given us slightly higher at 2,400 hits per month. So let's take a look at the data on that one. The organic search for those 3 days was 102, which if we multiply by 10 is 1,020. So both were actually massively over on that, with Ahrefs actually being the closest. So I'm going to give that point to Ahrefs. So this probably comes as no surprise that both of these tools failed pretty miserably when it came to estimating the traffic, although Ahrefs was slightly closer to the reality than Semrush was. So we're going to give this point to Ahrefs. Next up, we're going to look at keyword research. So again, this is one of the main reasons that I use a tool such as Ahrefs or Semrush. So this is really important to me. And so we're going to look at one niche site, we're going to look at one small e-commerce site, and we're going to look at Reddit, which obviously is a huge site. So the first thing I want to look at is how many keywords the tools pick up. So Epic Gardening, we're seeing 618,000 keywords. Semrush is giving us 600,000 keywords, so that's around about the same. The next one we're looking at is frisbeestore.co.uk, and Ahrefs gives us 839 keywords for that. This is a smaller site. Semrush only gives us 348 there, so Ahrefs kind of wins that one. And then we've got Reddit, which Semrush picks up 145.5 million keywords, and Ahrefs picks up 101 million keywords. So Semrush wins that. But one thing that I do really like, if we go in and take a look at Reddit, for example, so again, interface wise, pretty similar, pretty easy to get into. We just get this list with Ahrefs. We get the volumes, we get the keyword difficulty, we get the cost per click for paid ads, and we get to see where the positions are and what the URL is. We can filter. I like the filtering option. It's pretty intuitive. We can filter by location. We can filter by position. So if I just want to see the keywords that are in position 1 to 3, for example, I can apply that and then show the results for that. And I can filter by things that are in the URL. So for example, if I wanted to just see comment threads, then I can filter by that, and I can filter by keywords. So if I just wanted to find keywords that had the word review in them, then I can filter those through. So with those filters in place, for Reddit, we've got 59,720 keywords. Now, if I do the same on Semrush, so we can see that we've got that 145 million keywords. What I quite like with Semrush, again, is this graphical display. The bare bones of it though, we get the same data with the positions, the keyword difficulty, the volumes, and the cost per click and the URL. But one thing that we do get that is different with Semrush, and it's a really nice touch, is we get this intent. So typically we're going to see navigational, we're going to see informational, transactional, and commercial intent applied to every keyword here. Now again, we can filter, so we can filter by position, so we can use the predetermined ones or we can do 1 to 3 like we did before. We can apply that, and that applies straight away. And then I can look at some more filters. So again, I can filter by keywords. So if I want to add review, but I can also still filter by URL and all these other filters here. And I want to have comment in there. And what we can see here is we've got 86,400 keywords. Now on here, we had 59,720. So actually, again, Semrush is giving us a lot more keywords here than we would be getting over on Ahrefs. And again, they're both for United States. And again, what I really like with Semrush is that we can click in here. We can get more data. It's very quick and easy to use. Whereas on Ahrefs, if we want to get that extra data, yes, we can do that and we can click into it, but it takes us away from that page, which just makes it a little bit more clunky to use. So I can't quite believe I'm saying this, but I'm actually going to give this one to Semrush, because ultimately when I filtered through those keywords, particularly on Reddit, which was a huge website, so many keywords, so many pages, they came out with 30,000 more potential keywords than Ahrefs did, which is going to give me an edge when I'm searching for keywords that I want to potentially try and rank for. Anyone in Ahrefs is potentially missing out on 30,000 keywords there that they might want to target. So that's 1 to Semrush. So we're now going to look at the pricing and the plans of both tools, and on the face of it, Ahrefs does look a little bit cheaper because they've actually got this light plan here. However, it's important to point out that this light plan is not going to give you all of the features that we've looked at in this video today. And there's some features that I've not looked at, but features that I do use. So for example, the content gap is a feature that I use a lot. I would need to be on this standard plan at $199 per month. Now, we can get that cheaper if we pay annually. It brings it down to $166 per month. However, if we compare that to the Pro plan over on Semrush, the Pro plan here is a fair bit cheaper at $129.95. Again, if we pay annually, that comes down to $108. And suddenly this Guru plan at $208 a month is looking pretty attractive. Now, ultimately, it's going to come down to how you use these tools and how much you need to get out of them. So Semrush is going to give you 5 projects on their lowest plan and 500 keywords to track and a decent allowance in terms of the results, and you're going to get most of the tools that you need. However, if you do want that Looker Studio integration, then you are going to need to go onto the Guru plan. But again, if you pay upfront, you're going to get that for a decent rate compared to Ahrefs, which is a fair chunk more for that level of usage. Now, for me personally, 15 projects would be enough. If I was using it at agency level, which I probably am going to be doing going forwards, then I'll probably be looking at moving on to this business plan, because that'll give us 40 projects, and it will also give me extra users that I can add. Yes, they are going to be paid, but I'm not having to pay for a whole new subscription. Now, we can add users on Ahrefs too. It's actually a little bit cheaper to add the users because this is a per year cost at $200 per year. However, that's for a casual user that's just giving you 100 credits per month, which is hardly anything. Even the power user at 500, 600 or 750 credits per month at $500 per year, it's not a lot of credits. I personally, on my own, get through 1,100 credits per month on Ahrefs. So we're going to come on to usage allowances as a separate category, but I think there's no denying it on the face of it. Semrush is definitely cheaper than Ahrefs for a comparable product. So unless you are really the lightest of light users and you don't really need to use a lot of the analytical tools, then Semrush wins here. That's 1 point to Semrush. So moving on to the usage allowance and the restrictions, this is the one that really sticks in my throat in terms of the way that Ahrefs have treated me recently with just cancelling my legacy plan. Because like I said, I wouldn't say I'm a massive user. I do use Ahrefs most days, but I'm certainly not scraping it or abusing the tool in any way, shape or form. I'm just using it for my own affiliate portfolio research and parasite SEO research. And I'm using, on average, about 1,100 credits per month. And this is the biggest issue for me with the way Ahrefs have gone now. They've moved over to this credit-based system where anytime we open a report, we apply a filter or we request additional data, Ahrefs is taking 1 credit away from us or saying we've basically used 1 credit. Now, it doesn't apply to the rank tracker and the site audit, but everything else you do within Ahrefs, almost every time you click something, it's going to take a credit away from you. So essentially what's going to end up happening, if you're going over that, then you're going to need to buy additional credits. So we can see here 500 additional credits is $35 per month. Now on my usage, I would need to go into that and another credit pack. So it's likely going to be $70 per month extra on top of my plan for what I'm getting. Now, as far as I'm aware, there are no such limits on Semrush. You can use the tool as much as you like. There are limits in terms of the reports, in terms of how many results per report you can get. And again, it's pretty comparable, but on their standard plan of Ahrefs, we're getting 30,000 rows per report. Now, there are some places where Ahrefs gives you a little bit more than Semrush. So, for example, the tracked keywords, they're giving you 2,000 on the standard plan, whereas the standard plan on Semrush is giving you 500. The Guru plan is 1,500, and then the business plan is 5,000. Now, as I alluded to earlier, there are some extras that you can buy into if you want with Semrush. So the local, the trends and the social elements to it, and they do give you quite a lot of extra functionality to what you're going to get with Ahrefs. So I think this one is close. It really is going to come down to how you personally are going to be using the tool. For me, it's just a narrow win by Semrush, so give them that point. But it's close, and really it's going to come down to how you use the tool, how much usage you need to get out of it, and whether you can't live with those limitations. And if you are, and it's going to cost you an extra $70 a month, then you might be better off on Semrush and going for that middle tier plan rather than the pro plan. Go for the Guru plan. So let's take a look at where that leaves us. Well, it pretty much looks like a landslide victory for Semrush. They've got 6 points, Ahrefs has got 2. Now, I think that is probably a little bit unfair on Ahrefs. Like I said, I use the tool on a daily basis. I've used it for 5, 6, maybe even 7 years now, and it's always served me very, very well. I'm probably not going to move over to a new plan. We use it at agency level, and we use it and I use it as an affiliate. So we've got 2 plans. I think they're both going to be cancelled. We're going to move over to Semrush. We're going to try that out, and I will update this video if it's needed. Like I say, 6.2 is probably a little bit too heavy in terms of Semrush, but I think I was really surprised at the data that it has, and if it can do the backlink analysis, the keyword research element, and I'm going to be testing out some of those other tools like the social and the local stuff that we can use at agency level, then for me, I don't really think I need to be worrying about moving over to the Ahrefs new plan. And more than that, they really have annoyed me. The way they treated loyal customers, and it's not just me, it's everywhere on social media. It's happening to a lot of people. The CEO and some of their representatives are putting out some strange content. It's creating a bit of a toxic environment. Don't really want to be part of it. So yeah, I'm going to be moving full-time over to Semrush and seeing how we get on with that. I'd love to hear your feedback. Love to hear how you get on with these tools. There is a link down in the description below to both tools. So if you want to check them out, like I said, Semrush does have that 7-day free trial. And yeah, let me know how you get on with them. Thanks for watching, guys. See you soon.